Hey y'all, welcome to Geek Freaks. I am Frank and I'm with Jonathan.
Hey y'all.
We're recording in person today. We have been kind of a crazy month, right? So this is going to be a lot of just catching up on the news. It's probably old to you guys, but Jonathan, you work hard, so I know you don't keep up on the geek news very easily.
Hardly at all. Yeah. Actually, I follow my favorite geek TikTok channel, the Geek Freaks podcast.
I tell you, what a loyal listener.
Right.
So here's the problem with that though, because I got a bum knee, I messed up the two tendons on the front bottom of my knee. I haven't been able to sit at the computer, let alone record anything. So we're behind.
We're both outdated.
But we had two conventions. You ended up doing Crocker Con with James. How did you like that?
That was really cool. I don't know if I've ever been to the Crocker Art Museum. I don't think so because I was so impressed with just the museum itself. And then it's cram packed full of cool geek stuff, which always makes it better. But it was a lot of fun. There was a lot of people. I was surprised. There was I think they said 6,000. They were planning for 5,000. It ended up being about 6,000 people that showed up. The 501st was there. They had, live performers, live music, and the lightsaber battle instructors.
Yeah.
They're like fencing professionals.
I saw that. Yeah.
It was cool. There's all kinds of crafts for kids and stuff like that going on.
Yeah. It was a pretty unique kind of convention because it was in an art museum. There's so many of the pictures that you took and that I got from SDC that were, oh, look at this new comic book in front of Native American artifacts and stuff. It was like, wow, This is a weird juxtaposed positions of different things,
Exactly.
But yeah, it's a cool con. And then Squeaks actually, I just absolutely loved LACC down in LA. But man, I whooped his butt. He is so exhausted from that.
Just the travel to get down there would kill me. And then once you're there, you want to be fully primed and ready for a whole day of just walking and being in a convention. And a huge convention like that, it's got to be just completely draining.
I think it's near the same size as BlizzCon. I think it's probably a little bit bigger. And I know the last BlizzCon I went to per day was 7 miles.
My gosh.
Yeah. And it's a lot of hoofing. So I'm assuming it's the same thing. Plus, there's all those panels and we try to record the panels. This time he went down there because I couldn't go. Luckily, his brother-in-law and our new friend, Joey, went with him, who is a photographer. And Joey's making this really cool highlight video for us. I got the rough draft of it, and my God, it is so cool. It's nice to see a professional photographer, what they can do with Geek Freaks material. So very impressive, and I can't wait to fully release it, everything. So that'll be a blast. Let's go ahead and dive right into the news and what we got going on. So first off, we got Mandalorian and Grogu. It's the new movie coming up with Mandalorian and Grogu in there. We have our first big trailer for this, a big story teaser. Have you had a chance to watch this?
No, not at all. I know we've talked about it's coming up, it's in the works and stuff like that, casting, whatever, but I didn't realize there was even a trailer out yet.
Yes, so it just released. First off, I want to show you that poster. Look at that poster on that thing.
Oh, yeah. That looks so old school. I love that.
Right? What does that invoke in you?
Early 90s, late 80s action movie.
Indiana Jones.
Bruce Willis. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's so cool.
It feels full adventure, even the way that Mandalorian Grogu is written, the font, it's very, and the splash text that's here and there, and it's Jin Jarden played by Pedro Pascal and Grogu as himself. It's just really cool. Yeah, we got Sigourney Weaver in that and stuff like that. It is a blast.
Movie poster and comic book vibes too, all in one.
Yeah, it definitely feels like you're on an adventure, and it's a shame that we're only getting one movie because something like that already gets me excited for another.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play the trailer right now. Jonathan will watch the trailer live. Oh, and we're going to cut in the podcast, so you guys will see a gap in the podcast, but here we go, Jonathan.
A few minutes later.
It looks amazing. So like I was saying a minute ago, it looks so much more polished. I think it's just because it's a movie instead of a TV show.
The scale's bigger too, it seems like.
It just, the glimmer and shine on everything is really good. We see a lot of Grogu, obviously live action. What do you call that? But it's not animated.
Puppetry. Yeah, practical effects.
Practical effects. There you go.
Yeah.
I wonder, hopefully they try at least to mesh some animation when needed to make it not so obvious. Cause I don't like Dark Crystal where the puppetry is a little too crude and I don't know, you can see it and it kind of breaks the illusion, but I think in the past so far, they've done a good job at not letting him be that rough around the edges. So and we see he's moving a lot more independently and walking through the tunnels by himself and stuff like that. So we'll definitely, have to see them flex that skill or integrate animation with it. Looks
we
really
see
good.
The Wave Crest back because he had a Naboo fighter beforehand.
Yeah.
So he got a new Wave Crest, presumably because the last one was completely destroyed.
Yeah.
And it just seems like such a fun romp. We know we don't have we have Sigourney Weaver now as like the new bounty hunter broker, essentially. Okay. And her in a sci-fi movie just kind of tells you it's going to be good.
Yeah.
She's always good in those sci-fi movies.
And, she's not, low budget. Like if they're investing in having her, then it's a serious character, serious role in a, top dollar movie. So it's exciting.
What shot or what moment really sold you on this one?
So at one point you get a glimpse very briefly, like a single frame probably, of them, like the nightlife, them on this planet, and it's like the dark alleys in the city or whatever. I love to explore that, like we did in the first couple seasons, whatever, Mandalorian, where we see the planet of Coruscant, yeah, and how bustling it is, and just every square inch of that planet is developed city and skyscrapers and stuff like that. And there's just so much going on that's so densely saturated. We
ended up getting that with Andor as well, right? With when we saw, I can't remember anybody's name right now, but
yeah. So I love to see that. I love to see these little. It only takes a small teaser, a small taste of something for you to realize the tip of the iceberg. For you to realize, oh my God, there's so much more behind that I can't see, and my imagination can build all that.
Yes,
and the screen just needs to give you the taste to get it started.
That's the best of sci-fi, right?
Yeah,
when there's like,
exactly.
It's like, hey, in this, I'll give you good. I know you'll know exactly what I'm talking about here in a second. Hey, if this planet is stuck in a wormhole, event horizon where time travels faster for them, what happens there when you come by and visit and then you leave for a second? All of a sudden, you go back again, centuries go by and you become a demigod because you were there with a little bit of technology or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's the best sci-fi things. And so, when you see Coruscant, a tire city that drops around a world, for me, the big moment for me was when the Adat Walker, the third one was destroyed and then like falls off the cliffside, because the entire trailer definitely feels bigger than a Mandalorian series.
Yeah.
But that shot to me was like, oh, we are at a Star Wars movie. We haven't had a Star Wars movie since 2019. And so
that in our scale, it's like, oh, that's only been 7 years. Yeah. And for Star Wars movies, there's big gaps in between them. But all of a sudden,
we had a stretch there where we were just pumping them
all
out.
the time. Yeah.
And it felt too much.
We got high on the candy, and then all of a sudden they cut off our supply, and now we've gone a while without an actual Star Wars movie.
Right. So like when I rewatched Rogue One somewhat recently after Andor, and was like, man, there's something about a Star Wars movie where you see the big ships, like the budget is just whatever they want it to be. So when you see the big ships doing huge battles and things like that, that's what I want to see out of this too.
I think they do a good job. I don't know what it is that Disney does different or Lucas Films, but that it's all steering in the same direction. It's all working together to elevate themselves. Like, not, we have a really high budget for this, race cars, but then low budget for a fight scene or something like that. It all works together really well. So,
and I think that goes back to the poster and what we're seeing out of just that font as well. Is this, it feels like a clear adventure. Like when you're watching, I keep going back to Indiana Jones on this. When you're watching Indiana Jones, the whole point is to find, this relic of this item, whatever, save it, put it in a museum type of thing.
Yeah.
And so for this, we know that whatever Sigourney Weaver's about to tell them, that's the point.
That's the mission. Yeah.
And
very
it's
specific
nice
goal.
Yeah.
One thing too that Star Wars does different than a lot of other sci-fis that we know is their technology. We know, like Star Trek and all other sci-fis.
Yeah.
They have this element of, we don't have that technology yet in our world, so we make it up with technobabble and made up or hypothetical science and stuff like that. Star Wars does such a good job at that science being like grunge science. Like it's very clunky and things bolt together. And if you could rip this part off of a ship and bolt it onto that one and you weld it over here, now you added boosters to your ship. It doesn't really, it makes it to where the science works together relatively easily. It makes it more fun.
And it feels like anybody could put it together, right? Like some junker on a random planet can put that together. It feels very tactile. When I see a Star Wars ship, I feel like I know what that click sounds like and feels like.
Yeah.
When in Star Wars, you're just like, it's all touchscreens and it's all about the dialogue. But something about Star Wars, like, I want to be in that ship.
Yeah. And it kind of lends to the fact that they partnered with Lego. So there's Lego Star Wars movies and stuff where, the kids can take apart a rocket and put it back together, or a ship and put it back together. And it works however they want to put it together. Your imagination allows you to build it. And when you look at these ships that they're flying, you're like, oh, well, I know those things on the side. That's what pushes it. And that part in the middle, that's the hole. That's where, and this is the part where they steer it
There's
from.
There's a big laser right there. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's the gun.
Point that laser at that guy.
Exactly. So that's pretty cool. I like it.
Speaking of Lego, by the way, they are coming out the Lego Star Trek later this year.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
So we'll have to see how much that costs.
I know. Jesus.
It'll be a business account thing, right? I'm sure we can figure something out.
We'll get Squeaks to buy them all. We'll just live through him.
That's what, Squeaks, we can play with your Legos. Outside of the core, Mandalorian and Grogu, is there anybody else you want to see them bring in a little bit? We get Paul Sung-Hung Lee's character, I think we want to get a little more of him. I think he's going to be our Nick Fury for this.
Don't they have their own series that was going to come out with? They're just
they are. It's on the very distant horizon though, so we're talking 28 probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone specific that I want, but I do like when they introduce more new characters.
Yeah.
There's just so much they can do with it. They're so they're very creative with these characters, and you never know. Like this Grogu is the perfect example. You never know what's going to catch fire, what's going to get people's attention, what people are going to fall in love with. So, as far as I heard, I think it was Dave Filoni explaining that Grogu wasn't their focus. He was just a little fun side character. He was the Pikachu riding along with Ash. But then people were like, "Oh wait, we like him more than anything else," and so like, crap, we got to actually develop this character a little bit more and expect he's going to stay along the story. He was only supposed to be for part of the story, and then he was going to get left behind, right?
Well, so yeah, from my understanding, he was supposed to be just the first couple episodes, and then they're like, "Oh, we really like this guy," so they kept him in the show. Yeah. Then the reaction to him came online. They're like, "Oh, this show's about the wolf and cub." Gotcha. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Which is perfect. It takes a western and then adds samurai influences to it, and we're all there. Yeah. Clearly, media likes when you have a father figure and a young kid. We're seeing with Last of Us and God of War and all these things. It's just it always hits well. So. Mandalorian Grogu, guys, we are watching it on IMAX for sure. Let us know your favorite part from that trailer. I mean, we can't wait. That's gonna be a blast. We have a Game of Thrones update. So for next year, 2026, we're going to have 2 different shows coming out that are spinoffs. House of the Dragon Season 3 and A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. So of those 2 projects, what are you a little more excited for?
So, I don't know. House of Dragons kind of left me disappointed at the end of last season.
End of last season, yeah, fair enough.
I'm like, man, that was so, I don't know. It was all hype and no delivery. And so it's almost like, they leave a bad taste in your mouth because it's like they're trying to take advantage. They're trying to hold you ransom to get you to come back for that next season. It's like, you guys just should have written more story in between. If you're running out and you want it to fit
that's the amount. Problem. If I would have played devil's advocate there, not that I agree with you though, but just so that there's another counterpoint to this, it reminds me of the late seasons of Game of Thrones where they had to make shorter seasons because the budget just gets too crazy. Yeah. The next thing that happens in House of the Dragon is 2 very large battles. Yeah. Immediately, like they should be in episode 1, and so. I can see them having to split it up just because like we can't afford to add that to everything that's already happened before.
You know how you resolve that? And this would be something that would be new, maybe groundbreaking, relatively new, would be awesome for us though, I think as viewers. You make the season and you have it all build up to a climax. And the weekend after that, you release the movie that is those 2 battles, hour and a half. You sit down and watch them. Super epic, all the money. They got paid for their subscription to HBO and they got the ticket sales. Yeah. It helped fund that extra big event. And then, a year later, whatever, season 3 comes out too.
That hybrid release would be very interesting because we have seen now that they're starting to do this thing where a movie will release both on Netflix and theaters, and obviously it doesn't do as well in theaters. Yeah. But to have a series tied to that, to where if you're going to theaters, well, you better have watched everything on Netflix. Yeah. Or on HBO for this case. Or if you're going to watch it on HBO, it's like, well, if you want the finale, you better go to the theaters. Yeah. And then it'll be on HBO in 2 months if you want to wait. But 2 months, exactly. I'm going to see the theaters.
Yeah. And it's fun to, you like the show, like we're seeing with the Star Wars, with the Mandalorian. Yeah. We love the series, but man, when they could put the money and time and effort into a movie version of it, it just hits differently. And it'll be on streaming. You can watch it later if you want to wait, if you don't want to spend the extra money. But if you want to be part of that event, it's happening right now. Go check it out.
There's something about the theaters too. Like I will rewatch Marvel movies sometimes, and it's like, oh, it's so good to rewatch Marvel movies. Nothing changes what it's like to watch, No Way Home, Spider-Man in theaters. Yeah, the excitement in the room when you see the other Spider-Man pop in. Or Endgame to me is the ultimate movie experience I've ever had in my life. Yeah. When you see Captain America move Mjolnir. Yeah.
It's like going to a convention too. You can order from these vendors online and not have to go there at all. Or you can watch videos of somebody posted and stuff like that. But to be there and the energy and being with people that like the same things you like, it's just a whole different experience. So
that's very true.
Definitely worth going.
So what from the season 1 and 2 of House of Dragon do you want to make sure they get into season 3?
Oh man, I don't even remember where. I remember it was preparing for the big battle between the 2.
Basically, Team Black is going to be taking a charge towards, and I don't want to give any spoilers away, taking charge towards Team Green and Westeros. Or I'm sorry, the Red
King's
Keep.
Landing.
Yeah, King's Landing.
Yeah. I don't know. We already saw the king fell out on his dragon, right?
And he's got heavy burns and he's well damaged.
And his brother's trying to take control.
Damien. Yeah. Or Aemon, sorry.
Aemon, yeah.
I think one of the key things I want to make sure we see is that now that we had a full season, because it took a lot for them to breathe this out, Daemon needs to be in service of Rhaenys now. Like, I think um, he needs to be fully her servant.
Yeah.
Because there was this little, I don't know if I could be my own king, if I might want to take over instead. No, you had that moment. Now you're here.
Yeah.
You kneeled to her, and it was a really cool moment at the end of season 2.
Yeah.
It needs to be followed up on. We don't want to see that out of you again.
Well, I think would solidify that, and I don't know if it ties into the written story at all, is there's like an assassination attempt on her, and he is closely bonded with the person that's even pushing it forward. Like it's another family member or something like that. And he has the option to go ahead and let it go through. So if she dies, he would take power.
Right.
Or he stops them, kills them, and saves her without anybody even knowing that it happened too.
Yeah.
You don't do it for the honor, the glory, the title that you saved the queen, anything like that. He does it and keeps it quiet because he doesn't want the person that was going to do it, their family, to be sullied by that random action or something like that.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of cool. Help solidify his character, help bring him back up, because he's, like you're saying, he's gotten into this kind of moral gray area that doesn't look good on him.
It doesn't. He's a ruthless warrior, and we want to see him just pointed at something to go fight. And I will kind of give spoilers. I mean, Damon is his target.
Yeah.
So, or Aemon's his target. I keep messing that too up. Damon versus Aemon is a big part of House of the It is honestly, when you talk about the war, the Dance of the Dragons, it's the culmination. It is to this one moment that's like, oh yeah, baby, and it's like that. So that'll probably be the last season. It'll probably be like the penultimate episode or something like that.
Yeah.
It's going to be a moment we all talk about for sure. The thing I'm worried about, just to kind of hint at it, is there are 2 big betrayals, and I would say another betrayal coming up that I'm like, I can't imagine you guys writing those characters to be betrayers. So I'm interested to see if the writers for the show and especially the performers can land that ship. It's a tough one.
Yeah. Or if they're going to pivot a little bit to change the story.
Yeah.
They have a little bit in the past too.
They have.
But to make it fit the screen better.
Yeah. And it's important for the story, because if you look at it right now, like you're like, oh yeah, Black's going to delete Green. But if you could imagine a couple of those people betraying her, then all of a sudden it's like, oh no, the stakes are off.
Shifts,
So it's very interesting what we got coming up. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. Speaking of House of the A Knight of the Seven Kingdom, what out of that are you wanting to see different than we've seen out of Game of Thrones so far?
More grounded. So I love Game of Thrones is such big scale, everything. But you've told me before too that this story this is following is a lot more like A Knight's Tale.
Very much
which
like A Knight's Tale.
I love that. It's just, 1 or 2 people living the day-to-day life. And it's like when you play a game, it's, you're the god character and you can destroy, a whole city at once, or save if you want to be the good guy. Or, it's like very humble and down to earth where you're PvE and you have to forage for food and survive. It's good to have both ends of that in games and movies where, we want to see these big dragon battles. Sure, huge CGI, expensive, but also just to see a regular down to earth person fighting to survive in this world that's already been kind of fleshed out.
Yeah, and this is a world where the Targaryens are doing quite well. The dragons are not necessarily a problem anymore, but they are still very much in power.
Yeah,
there are rumblings, but nothing crazy going on about overthrowing them. And a lot of the shots we've gotten so far are just Duncan by himself on a horse.
Yeah,
they're not. You don't ever see big, large castles, and you will see them, but that won't be a big deal.
Yeah,
and it boils down to a man and his ward, his steward, and a knight and a steward, who are just like, I'm going to go save this girl.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's a classic fantasy story.
Yeah.
It's a blast. And they're going to be going to Dorne. So for me, I feel like Dorne was mistreated in Game of Thrones because it is
That's where the Red Viper's from?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But it is so freaking cool. So in the show, they took it as it's got Spanish influences, which I think is probably more accurate than my interpretation. When I read the books, I interpreted it as ancient Egypt's interpretation. Like, because there are a lot of oasis and water features and stuff like that, and it's very desert and arid. So I think maybe more the arid side of Spain, but a lot of Egypt in there too. So this, medieval knight going into that area, it's just such a cool,
like
comparison.
contrast. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's going to be a blast. We got an announcement. The Simpsons Movie 2 was announced.
Yeah.
Why is that needed? I don't think it is.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a good IP and they can make money out of it.
That's probably it. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I was surprised to see that was coming at all. It could be that, the world has a lot to talk about these days. And there's a lot of these, comedy, animated comedy shows and stuff like that, movies, reflect what's going on in the world, kind of poke at the situation.
Yeah. And Simpsons, that is a good point, Jonathan, because in 2007, the movie was about the EPA and pollution.
Yeah.
So and they already said that they cannot speed up their production to be like South Park, to be able to punch at the politics immediately.
Daily, yeah.
So a movie gives them that venue. It gives them a place to be able to do that.
Yeah, so maybe that's why they're reaching for it. But it's got to be a big hitting subject matter for it to really get the attention to get people in theaters, I think.
Yeah, and I'm a big Simpsons fan. I'm a big adult animation fan. I will be seeing this thing in theaters.
Yeah.
But I just don't know why you do it. Now, Disney was wanting to actually pull the trigger on this in 2020.
Oh, yeah.
Pandemic, of course, slowed things down, and they could not get a script completed. The reason they're doing it now, according to them, is because of the success of recent animations. K-pop Demon Hunter, the Spider-Verse stuff. Sony animation is really flying, and their own Pixar projects are working well. And they're doing this hybrid thing where they're releasing another Toy Story and another Frozen or another Inside Out, but they're also coming out with Hopper and different new projects as well. It's like hybrid of two things coming out. Elio, which didn't do well in theaters, but it's something new. So when they saw the animation's kind of on the rise right now, they're like, well, let's bring back something that people are going to go watch anyways.
Yeah, it's nostalgia bait too. I mean, people will probably, like you, will probably just watch it because it's a Simpsons thing, even if it isn't aligned with the things you're interested in nowadays or something like that. Yeah.
What do you think about the scale of this problem? In the last one, we saw that the Simpsons had to leave Springfield because it was under a dome and they got trapped on the other side. And so they went to like Alaska and stuff like that. Do you think that works well, or keeping it in Springfield is the best move?
The show is always very humble, very small town.
Yeah,
stories,
it's about
right?
the ensemble of the town at a certain point.
Yeah,
after like season 12.
So I don't know how well the first movie did, but I would try to not.
$500 million. It did very well.
Oh yeah,
in 2007.
So maybe you can continue the same scaling, and this one will be a global crisis or whatever. Actually, the pandemic. Yeah, this could all be about life during COVID. Thinking about them trying to go global.
Idea. Yeah.
Especially if they're trying to release it in 2020, it could be about trying to get a project done when the pandemic's going on. The project would be a movie, but
yeah. Some of my favorite Simpson episodes that I think would make for good movies is them going to another country.
Yeah.
And kind of poking fun at them, but then also reflecting back and poking fun at us. And I think this is kind of the time to do that.
Yeah.
So if there's something where they have to go to multiple countries, that would be a fun way to kind of elevate the show.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough. I don't 100% know why what they're going to be able to do with this.
Yeah, I could see Homer helping. He's commissioned to go with their team because they're the ones that run a power plant, opening a power plant in another country, and he's trying to teach these guys who speak a different language, like, oh, well, this is the button you press for this and press for that, and they're like looking at each other like he doesn't know what buttons to press. Yeah, these are all wrong, and they're holding the manual.
America doesn't. Maybe they think he's right. America does it different than us. We better follow him. And also, there's a nuclear meltdown.
He leaves, it's on the news in the background. There's new plant.
All right, you sold me on this, Jonathan.
That'd be great.
We're gonna follow on this and see once we get there because the show came out in '89. Can you believe that? '89 is when the show first aired.
That's crazy.
And so it's been on. It's gonna be 40. It's renewed up to 40 seasons. It's on 37 right now. Yeah. The gags have changed over time. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, it changed." You have to change a little bit too. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the show elevates itself to 2025, 2026 standards.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Another trailer you didn't see is that we have a new Wolverine game trailer. So Wolverine game was announced a while back. Yeah. We had seen nothing out of it. This is the studio that made the Spider-Man games, which are phenomenal. And someday you'll borrow my PS5 so you could play that. Yeah. But let's go ahead and check out that Wolverine trailer now so you can give me some reactions to that.
All right.
A few minutes later.
So John, you can play that?
I want to play that. I don't have hardly any time to play games, period, but that looks really good.
Fair enough to say M for mature.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The combat, it seems so fast paced, and I realize a lot of it is when you engage certain ways, whatever move he's doing, the camera angle shifts based on the move.
Very cinematic.
Yeah. It makes it look like it's like action packed. You're just because you're swinging at a guy, all of a sudden it's coming around to the side that you can see it best or whatever, but it looks really good.
Insomniac, the studio behind this, who does the Spider-Man games, they have a tendency to be able to use that on finishers. So when you're playing a Spider-Man, you'll do like this combat you'd see pretty familiar with most games.
Yeah.
Batman Arkham type fighting. But then it would close in on finishers, and it's really cool. This feels much more like God of War, where everything he's doing, like all these little swings, they feel purposeful. Like he's got like force behind him. He's not as fast as Spider-Man, so that makes sense that they changed the play style a little bit. And it feels like, they're kind of like shaking the camera, like they're going in every time you press one of those buttons. So it makes it even feel like more impactful.
I wonder if the mechanics aren't like other games where like if you swing and you're within a certain distance of this thing, you might hit it. But there's focal points like his jaw and my fist, and they find each other, and I'm close enough. I press a button, then they connect because it knows what the target is at that point.
Yeah.
If you're looking at his jaw, if you're looking at his shoulder, whatever you're gonna hit.
And we saw a little bit of something that's going to be similar to that in the trailer itself, where it looked like Wolverine was like lunging forward at a guy. Usually when it comes to this combat, like if you're within, say, 5-10 feet of somebody and you press the attack button, it kind of like leans in so you can reach them.
Yeah.
But again, that makes it feel like you're a badass.
Yeah,
like you made that hit, you know? So a lot of things.
And the way
like
it's talking about like death always comes, but not for me, is like, oh yeah, he's pretty much immortal. So you'll just be ravaging through these people as much as you have to. As long you might find a shortcut where you can, slash open a oil tanker and it blows up and it kills 50 of the bad guys or whatever. But if not, then hey, you got to slash your way and keep going, and you might get knocked down and take 5 seconds to regenerate, but you get back up and you're back at it again.
What did you think of Omega Red? So the thing with Omega Red, he was the guy that was like standing over him with the tentacles coming out of him.
Oh yeah.
You know him from like X-Men, the old animated series and stuff like that. The key with him is he has the ability to stop people's healing regeneration.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, because I'm like, if you think about it, how's Wolverine going to have a hard time when you're playing a game as a character who you have to care for his health?
Yeah.
You're Wolverine.
Yeah.
You could be like down to nothing and come back.
Exactly.
But if you have a villain who is actively reducing that, suddenly the stakes go up.
He still has adamantium in his bones and around his skull, so it still takes a lot to kill him, even if you rip off most of his flesh, right? But,
Right.
But yeah, I guess that would be a huge factor, is that he's getting tired and growing weak and not regenerating mid combat. So
yeah,
and still, yeah, if he can't heal, he can die.
And there definitely seems to be like some cybernetic guys he's fighting, and I have a feeling that they're probably working with Omega Red, who has given them his ability in a way.
Okay.
So that like they farmed his DNA or whatever, they'll find a reason for Wolverine to be killable.
Weakened. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I always wondered too, like electricity, he's got metal in him. So could it not stun him?
It has to be able to incapacitate him. Yeah, for sure. Oh, and then we had a little bit of a Mystique in there.
Which I love Mystique. You can
what
put her
a
in
fun
everything.
Story point. I didn't think about that. How like you could be playing a game talking to an NPC and then you realize, oh, it's Mystique. Or you're talking to an NPC that you thought you've been talking to a long time and no, this version is actually Mystique. That's going to make the storytelling quite different.
Yeah. I was thinking too, you can have a character that is Mystique and you don't know it, but he does. Like he doesn't trust this person for some reason, and you don't realize for so long why. And it's like, oh yeah, he can tell by the smell or something like that that's actually Mystique.
That is, in a little bit of leaked footage we saw, they are going to be leaning in on his smell ability. It's something that a lot of people don't know who don't necessarily read the comic books, is that he has enhanced smelling.
Yeah.
To where he's able to track people.
Yeah. Like a wolf.
So in the game, like you press a button and you can kind of see like scent lines and stuff like that. So you can follow people down. That's cool. I think it's going to be really neat. One of the things I'm a little bit concerned about is, are we going to get any Spider-Man in this game? It's supposed to be the same universe from the like Insomniac Spider-Man games. Would you want him to interfere with this?
I don't think so. Maybe in the next game, but let this be building up Wolverine and his, crew around him and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't think you need to integrate Spider-Man. Maybe you could see him in the background or see some of his villains and stuff like that, but I wouldn't make him a big part of it yet.
If like say Wolverine 2, he goes to New York at some point, maybe. And this one, we know he's going to Madripoor. We know he's going to Tokyo, and we know he's going to be in the Canadian forest, which that part's the most exciting to me. Yeah. When you're seeing him like on the motorcycle and like jumping off onto a semi truck, oh boy, give me that all day. That looks so good. And
I think the best way you can, if you want to introduce those two working together later on or fighting each other, depending on the situation, but build in the world. Like I was saying, like some of his villains could be there. The ones that are funding whatever it is he's fighting could be from LexCorp or Luthor Corp or however.
Well, that's DC, so that's not possible. But
sorry. Oscorp.
Oscorp.
There you go. Same thing, right?
I know, but if I don't correct you, Jonathan, I'm going to hear it on threads and stuff.
Online. But yeah, so it could be, Oscorp that's funding the stuff, and you see it on the background on a building on the side of a crate or a truck or something like that.
I love that.
And so piece by piece, it puzzles it together.
Or like I always love when there's like a news thing going on in the background, like, the Spider-Man now has a black suit, and well, he's not 30s, but
exactly.
come on. Yeah. It looks good. It looks so impactful. It's a day one purchase for me. I know for you don't have time for gaming, so you have to watch me play a little bit.
To show you how much I don't have time, I had like a half hour a few days ago. Well, 2 different days. I had like a half hour time, so I was like, you know what I need to do? Frank's always said Red Dead Redemption 2. I downloaded it. That was one day because it took like forever to download. It's huge.
A big game. Yeah.
And then the next day, where I actually had a chunk of time still, I got on and started playing it. I'm like, okay, this is really cool. I don't know how I'm going to find time, but maybe when my son goes to sleep, I'll stay up late even though I get up at 3 a.m. for work.
And like I told you, so the reason Jonathan, I know sometimes you're like, oh, I didn't know what to say at this moment or that moment. I have a feeling that a lot of our listeners are in your exact shoes.
Yeah, probably.
You know, and maybe they don't have a brother who pays attention to comic book shit too much like me. So,
Right.
but what I will say for you and for people who are interested in Red Dead, you got to get past that intro because an intro is very much like keeping you to the rails so that you kind of learn the world.
Yeah.
But after that, you're open world and you can kind of do whatever you want. And I found so much relaxation in just like hunting.
Yeah.
And because you're literally out and it's beautiful graphics.
Yeah.
So you're out there, the sun shining through and you're out there hunting is great. And then when I was babysitting Brody in Brooklyn, they got a kick out of hunting. I'm like, I need the skins. Go for it.
Yeah, just go.
And so like dad happened to come over while I was babysitting them. And he's like, are they shooting a wolf? I'm like, yeah, but I need the pelt. Don't tell them anything. It's fine.
It's not bad. It's just animals.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny.
Oh, man. All right. Let's see. Our last thing, we're going to be talking about Peaky Blinders. Let's shift over to Peaky Blinders now. Have you finished finally?
I haven't. Where was I? I think I was in the middle of season 2 or most way through season 2. Yeah. I know Tom Hardy was a big character and I already seen a lot of him. Yeah.
He sticks around. He's a freaking immortal god in that show.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Sometimes he gets shot and he's just like, yeah, I'm here again, but I got a messing part.
Yeah.
Which is it's kind of the joke of the show in a way.
He's
that
like
every time you don't want to get rid of Tom Hardy. Why would you want to?
No way. You can't.
You literally have Bane and Scarecrow in the same movie, the same show with Cillian Murphy and him. So there's like 7 seasons now and stuff like that. They got a movie coming up and now they have a sequel series. So let's go over what we learned so far. The movie's going to be set during World War II. Tommy is, he's been a politician at this point. I know you're not at that point, but he's been a politician for a while now.
Yeah.
And this whole thing, and I love the show hints at this at the first season, as so many people who watch it, the bros that watch it for the badassery, forget that he's like extremely a socialist.
Oh yeah.
But he's always like, he's businesses first.
Yeah.
He's not an idiot.
We have to make the money before we can give it to the poor.
Right. But but if you guys remember from the first season, his sister was with this guy and the guy was like an actual communist.
Yeah.
And and he would always say like, you and me used to do this. Like, hey, we ain't doing that no more. I got a business to run.
Yeah.
But he'd always help out. And so when he became a politician, he got close with the fascist party. And, at first when you see the trailers, you're like, wait, I don't like that he's getting close to the fascist party. But it was because he's a socialist and he's taking him down.
Okay.
And so it's Tommy being Tommy, it's so good. So with World War II, I'm very interested to see how that shakes out.
Yeah.
Because he's now very much openly against the fascist party, as at this time everybody in England would be.
Yeah.
But to see how is he helping with the war efforts? Knowing what you know out of Tommy Shelby, what do you think he'd be doing to help out?
So like you're saying, him infiltrating the fascist party early on, it's like he would probably build up a team of people that can be high-ranking officials in the German army or whatever. Yeah,
have people spies on the inside.
Yeah,
he has people that are in America now too, so he could have trying to get them to join the war effort would be interesting because there's an early part where we couldn't.
Yeah,
so maybe he's trying to get them to go in there.
Yeah, I don't know. Also in war, there's a lot of money moving hands, so yes, I could see him swindling people out of large sums of money, whether it's for the war effort or to build up his own private power. So if he needs to build a private military force, he can do that himself.
I just thought of one of my favorite, World War II history. It's as you become an older white guy, it's just going to be a thing you're interested in. And I always have been really, but one of my favorite stories is that early in the war, the U.S. couldn't join because of Congress. And so the president, FDR, my favorite president, he's on the phone with Churchill. And Churchill's like, we need planes, man. And he's like, I can't sell you planes. You're at war. And so what he does is he's like, I tell you what we're going to do is we're going to put a bunch of planes on the Canadian border. We're going to push them across the border. Yeah. Whatever you guys do with them at that point, it's up to you. And that's how we give them planes. How Peaky Blinders is that to be in charge of this plane heist, this sanctioned plane heist, quote sanction. Man. Yeah, you're right. That's where he would be, is that gray area where politics can't see. Yes. And he operates perfectly. Yeah. That'd be cool. Oh, there's so many really good story points there, and it's only going to be one movie, so it's hard because we're not going to get a whole full series out of it. Yeah. But it is supposed to lead to the next series, which is going to be taking place. The next series is going to be taking place in 1953. It's a new generation of Shelbys. They already greenlit 2 seasons. We have Stephen Knight, the guy that makes the first season, coming back, and Cillian Murphy's going to be an executive director. He might make a cameo, but I have a feeling if you're going to make a full movie, that's when you're going to probably finally kill Tommy off. Yeah. Matter of fact, the name of the movie is going to be Peaky Blinders, The Immortal Man, which is definitely a great name for Tommy Shelby, but it's also definitely the name you give to a guy who's about to die.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. But that's just like we were talking about with Game of Thrones too, to have a series and then cap it off with a good movie.
So funny you bring that up.
But then that actually segues into the spinoff. That's cool.
That's really. But I have a feeling I think this movie's just going to Netflix, not going to be in theaters.
Oh, that's
which is a shame. Yeah, because I want to see this in theaters.
Whatever date you decide to release it on streaming, just the weekend before, release it in theaters.
I tell you, if they do, I'll be there.
Yeah, there's no doubt. What are you not going to make any money out of it? Come on.
To hear that music in those big theaters, because the music in this show, so it's a little my ringtone.
And I wish theaters would do like I don't know if it'd be the theaters or the companies making the movies, but make them big events, theatrical events. Throw like a mini convention at all these little theaters,
Yeah, it doesn't take much to throw out the prop. You've been actually looking into that. You've been looking into merchandising in stores, right? For a job you're thinking about getting. And, I used to do it back in the day. They ship you a bunch of cardboard cutouts. They come in very easy. I mean, nowadays with Amazon, everything ships so easy nowadays.
Yeah.
You throw that up and it makes an experience. You know how many times I see pictures of people taking selfies in front of cutouts of like The Rock?
Yeah.
It's just fun.
And if you arrange it where some people that were involved in the production can go to whatever theaters,
yes,
that would be
very much
signing stuff, doing pictures and stuff, and just a representative at the event giving out swag, or selling shirts and cups and whatever. Right. Just make it a little bit more
exclusive, though. That makes it even more tempting.
We go to conventions. There's just a bunch of vendors. There are people that make their own art and they're selling it there. They don't really have any affiliation with the host of the event, but at the theater, you could have vendors that are selling stuff that just kind of aligns with that movie, and it just makes it more exciting to be there, I think.
Yeah, I think that would be a really good thing. I think combining, the hype of streaming a new show and then extending out that hype with a movie is a really good move for marketing wise alone. With this new series though, that's set in 1953, I do enjoy the idea of kind of that's the thing. It's in Birmingham, so it's in the UK. 53 for them is different than 53 for us. At our point, I'm thinking sock hops and basically everything in Happy Days.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we're gonna get that same thing, but a cruising, gonna be a time of gang wars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna see the Peaky Blinders have a lot more competition than they had in the 30s and 40s.
Yeah, because you think like the war's over, and I know for us it was, for the U.S. economy, it was a huge boost, right? We're thriving at the time. But I don't know how it was in Europe at all.
Great point, actually, for the UK and for us, we're very different aspects. So for the United States, we turned our entire industrial might into making military tools.
Yeah.
And it was every man, woman, and child's efforts to do that. We were putting out one ship a day. All right, you got to see this video I got for you. That mustard, I love that mustard guy. Anyway, so it's again too much into World War II, and so it was a huge effort. So we were just making a bunch of money. So when that thing ended, all of a sudden it was like, well, all our planes will just put a new name on the side of it. Now we have a full Air Force or transportation planes, all stuff like that. Meanwhile, in the UK, they got bombed. We didn't take damage outside of Pearl Harbor, really.
Yeah. They had to
on
rebuild.
our native lands is what I mean.
Yeah.
I know we lost a lot of it, but anyways, they got bombed. So they're rebuilding Birmingham.
Yeah.
All this stuff has to be rebuilt. So it's a time of renewal. Well, you know what that means? It's a time of a lot of shifting money.
Yeah.
So I bet the Peaky Blinders take a couple contracts.
Yeah. And political, even though all this stuff was settled with World War II, imagine you're trying to rebuild a city and people are being taxed to be able to fund that city. Then that means people are not happy with, well, I don't live in Birmingham. Why do I have to help pay for fixing their, church that got destroyed or their hospitals that were burned down or whatever? It's like, yeah, there's going to be conflict no matter what when the country needs the support of the people.
And there's an influx of Americans and refugees from other places. There's Jewish immigrants that just moved in because it's a complicated time. They had escaped their times and they're now making new homes and stuff. So
other countries around you may have been destroyed even worse, and they need your aid, and you guys are trying to help yourselves.
That's the crazy thing about it. After World War II and after World War I and World War II and World War II, they're better about it.
Yeah,
in a way. You are now in charge of Germany.
Yeah.
And so they end up splitting Germany in half. That's with the Berlin Wall. We're getting too much into history now. And so you're going to also have that thing too, where you're like, we are going to be shipping stuff to Germany now. We have to take care of that country for a bit. So it's going to be, what we're saying is, what I had first thought of was like, oh, what a cool time to have sock hops and jukeboxes, which is very much an American thing.
Yeah.
they're going to be like, it's post-world rebuilding and it's very complicated and a whole lot of new people that you're not used to in the area.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's going to be really cool to see. I just love me some Peaky Blinders.
And it might be a lot more grounded than we're thinking too. We're thinking bigger picture. It might just be a family or, a few people in the street.
Which was early seasons of Peaky Blinders. And I would say a lot of people argue that's when it was at its best.
Yeah.
Like all shows. It's always better in the beginning when it hooks you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a big fan of Peaky Blinders and I think you should sit down and watch it. I think it's the perfect show for your break.
Yeah.
Because I know that's when you watch a lot of your shows.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You're watching Invincible right now, though, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's pretty nuts.
That one's so good. But I could put it on because I think it's animated, does better with this. I could put it on while I'm cleaning the house and I just have to glance at it every once in a while because they have to do so much audio production to match the animation. So
there's something about the dialogue in that show, too, where it's very, that's the point, is like, oh, man, I can't believe that they're talking to Omni-Man or whatever right now and stuff. That ending though, season 1 with Omni-Man and his son.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
intense.
That's so good. That's what hooks you.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm in for however long this takes. So yeah, check out Invincible, guys. If you haven't seen that too.
Yeah.
Jordan Peele invites you to experience the eerie thrills of the groundbreaking sports horror film Him. Now available to watch at home. Him features over 45 minutes of exclusive bonus content, including a haunting alternate ending, 5 deleted scenes, and behind-the-scenes featurette only available when you buy. To add to this, we're going to be giving away free copies of Him today only on the release of this episode on our social media. We'll see you there. Speaking of shows you should be watching, let's go over our watch list for October. Jonathan, you're taking the lead on this one.
All right, we got all kinds of good stuff to watch. We got Solar Opposites. I know you're a big fan of that.
Yes, adult animation. It's the final season for that.
October 13th.
Yeah.
Has Been Hotel. We were actually at a convention, I think the one in San Francisco that had
Fan Expo.
Expo, had some of the voice actors from Has Been Hotel.
Really passionate fandom, almost cold like. And another one of their shows, Hell of a Boss, also just got put on the Prime.
Yeah,
it's very adult oriented with the comedy, but it's sharp, it's funny, it's good.
That's the hard thing to it. I would try to watch stuff now with not only my 4-year-old, can watch, but my wife doesn't like a lot of stuff.
Right.
I mean, for the most part, TV, but I try to find things that she'll watch with me. The Office is perfect. We're actually watching the new The Paper, which is a good fit for her vibe and everything.
Real quick interference on that I haven't seen The Paper yet. Is it worth watching?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
They did a really good job at making it not The Office.
I was worried about that.
Yeah. You would think like, oh, this is just going to be a cookie cutter imitation trying to fit the same thing.
Yeah.
No, it has the same like directing and, filming style and stuff like that. Same kind of writing, but a whole different cast and just different vibe.
Okay.
And yeah, it's still got the same kind of humor.
Okay.
But yeah, it's definitely a different story. So that's worth watching.
That. Okay.
Yeah.
I was worried that it might be just them trying to do the last couple seasons of The Office, which were not the best, to be honest with you. Still worth watching, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got. The Witcher. The next season is going to be the first one with Liam Hemsworth. Yeah.
That's the final season of Witcher too. After that, they're done.
The final season.
Yeah. Unfortunately, without Henry Cavill, they don't see it selling well.
Yeah.
I can't blame them, right? Do you think that's going to be as good?
I don't think so. And we'll see. They have the option if it seems to hit off and they have a huge rally behind it, then they can reboot it and continue it or something.
At that point, I say you rename it to like The Witcher New Era or Witcher New Blood. Actually, probably even cooler name.
Turn it into a
spin-off. There you go, Netflix. There's a freebie for it. Jesus, every time.
1%. That's all we want.
Yeah, seriously. Oh my God. I actually wrote, we were getting off tangents today. I wrote an article or email and a DM. Sorry guys. To World of Warcraft saying, look, here's my pitch for a new podcast.
Yeah.
You guys give me full access to your sources. You don't have to pay me. I want full access to the sources. I will make this podcast for you. And what I'll do is I'll bring back Lore Master, and I've got some ideas for it to make it even more better.
Epic. Yeah.
More better. All right. I'm glad this podcast is almost over because my brain is obviously cooked. Jesus.
Nice. All right. So we have Star Wars Vision, the animated series. It's
specifically anime. Yeah. It's got a lot of like samurai influences, but with lightsabers and stuff like that. They bring on a lot of really cool studios for that. MAPPA, which did Attack on Titans, did some of that. I don't watch a lot of it just because it's like there's so many things to watch.
So much Star Wars
even
too,
for me, Jonathan.
Yeah.
And I watch a lot of stuff.
All right,
but it's just so much to watch. What are you most excited for this?
And then
month?
we have It. Welcome to Derry. It's the It TV show coming out. I'm excited for that because I love It, especially the new It that we've seen. I don't know, 10 years ago, 5 years ago. not that long ago.
Pennywise with Bill Skarsgård, which I just watched him last night on Barbarian, but he's coming back for this one as well.
Yeah, that's so exciting. I hope the show is good. I don't know how well it will translate from being like we've already talked about a TV show going to the big screen becoming a movie and how, oh man, that looks so cool, that looks so polished. But to go from a movie to a TV show, that's a harder step to make, I think, successfully. So we'll see how well they do that transition. But it's a whole different team, whole different story and everything. It's different just in the world of it. Yeah.
I'm such a sucker. I was watching his Dark Material again with the bum knee this last couple of weeks. I've caught up on a lot of freaking TV, guys. Watch Hacks. It was good. Thomas is right. Anyways, so I've been watching a lot. But anyways, I came to the realization that like, man, I really just like a well-made show. So basically anything on HBO, it's just like, I'm not a big fan of the story, but I'm enjoying how well this is made, especially when it's a period piece.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm seeing out of this one. Also an HBO show, by the way.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's like in this like 60s era, I'm going to give it a bigger chance than I normally do.
Yeah, for sure.
What is it that you're wanting to tell out of this series that's not in the movies?
I like you're saying this. Well, we've seen that Pennywise comes back every 27 years. So there's going to be a different generation pretty much with him every time he comes to torment us and eat as many kids as he can. So I like that, seeing him kind of being rediscovered or hidden, but amongst society and stuff like that.
Right. With
each generation, it'll look different. And we're, this is going to be further back in the history. So when you're jumping forward, there's more that you had seen in the past. You can kind of tease to in the future.
Yeah, you can hint to. But, you're right.
Yeah, we're actually digging a little further back. So I don't know. It's just kind of the same discovery that we had with the very first movie of who it is and how it works and everything. Just kind of doing it all over again, a different time period.
I got a pitch for you. So in the books, it's way crazier what it is.
Yeah.
So he's an alien that landed on the big turtle that is our world.
Yeah.
Okay. That tells you right there.
All right, you just gotta take a couple mushrooms before you start.
Yeah, so like the idea that like Earth is on a turtle, like that whole like old mythology thing, is what it is in. It's in that world.
Yeah,
and the idea is that this is an alien that crash landed on that thing and where Derry's at.
Yeah.
So a couple things to that. First off, if you watch the movies, this is just a fun thing. If you watch the newer movies that came out, there's a bunch of turtles everywhere. You'll notice them. The toys and stuff, they're all turtles.
Yeah.
So that's fun to watch that. But the key is I want them to explore is people forget about Pennywise every 27 years as well.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of murders in town and people don't remember. And then you'll even see moments where like the adults see Pennywise or see something bad happening and they look away. Yeah. That's Pennywise doing that.
It's an influence he has on them.
It's an influence he has on the town. Explore that.
Yeah.
Where the kids are like trying to like shake the parents. Like, are you kidding me? There's a killer clown.
Yeah.
Like, I saw a guy delivering mail or whatever,
Dig a little deeper into the sci-fi and not just the raw horror.
Yes.
I like
and
that.
I don't necessarily need you to go turtle and alien.
It doesn't have to go too far.
But the effect he has on the town, like this perpetual town trapped in a 27-year cycle, that's fascinating. Let's get into that. Because then that enforces the newer movies.
Yeah.
If you're explaining that, then when you watch the movies, you're like, oh yeah, I watched in Welcome to Derry how they explained this part,
And it's like Freddy Krueger, the way he like gets in your head and he makes you see the thing that scares you the most kind of thing.
Right.
That kind of, it's a sci-fi plot that it doesn't have to be, I mean, it's horror, it's scary, but it's because of a sci-fi principle that you can explain. So I like to see the working mechanics behind something. You have to set up the boundaries and the rules, and then you push the borders of them. And sometimes you find a way to break through it a little bit.
I think those are my favorite horror movies when I think about it, because like everything Jordan Peele does, frankly, like Us, when you're thinking about like, oh man, what if there was an entire subterranean existence of us that are mirrored and stuff like that. I think that's
Get Out was his
Get
too.
Out, when you're thinking of like these people just replacing bodies.
Trip. Yeah.
Oh man, that's so good. But because it makes you think about it more beyond just I got scared a lot.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good point.
Yeah, I like it.
It's going to be a good month, guys. Plus, we got scary movies. Is there any horror movies you plan on watching this month for outside of the normal for your house?
Yeah, I was going to say Hocus Pocus, Halloween Town.
They're working on Hocus Pocus 3, so you can tell your wife that she can be hyped about that.
Right, for sure. Not really. I mean, I'll probably scroll through and find something for myself every once in a while, but just whatever's on.
Yeah.
I do want to rewatch Ghostbusters. I actually speaking of rewatches, this isn't really Halloween related, but I do want to rewatch all the Tron movies before the new Tron comes out.
Yes, Tron is coming out real soon, like next couple
weekend,
weeks.
right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I'll have to watch that.
And I love the newer Tron movies. I don't think I ever saw the one from the 80s or 70s.
Yeah, I'm sure you saw it as a kid kind of thing. Like probably, it was on Disney a lot, the Disney Channel, if you guys remember channels.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that one from like 2011 was so damn good.
Yeah.
But this one I'm a little concerned because Jared Leto can really let us down. He's got a knack for that.
And they wrapped the whole movie around him.
Yeah, they sure did.
Yeah.
They sure did. And already it's a lot of him like trying to look edgy and like, oh, damn, Jared, every time you do that, man.
Yeah. And the concept that they're bringing that world out to this world can be Fast and the Furious, or it can be like the old Trons. But if they're just doing it for show, just for aesthetics, I mean, they got to be careful how much it's just flashy versus having a good story and principles, concept.
Yeah. We'll see how it is. That's a good watch. Myself, I'm trying to watch a couple new horror movies that I haven't seen before, especially ones that like I know are good because people really like them. Yeah. Like that was the reason I watched Barbarian last night. Is like I've seen a little bits of it. I haven't seen it all. It is quite good. So I'm trying to sit down and watch all those.
That one? It was just a year or two ago. Won a bunch of awards. I can't remember what it was called. It was.
Give me a bit of it, John. Come on.
Oh, gosh.
Here we go, guys. This is good podcasting right here.
Right,
I'm going to fill in while he sits there and thinks. And he tells me one actor that I can launch off with.
It was a foreign film. It was completely...
Parasite.
That's it.
There it is, baby.
Yeah. It won a ton of awards. I know that. And I've never seen it. Was that a horror movie too, though?
Yeah, 2020 Oscars. Horror thriller, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
2020? Is that long ago?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I thought it was
Jonathan,
last year.
you're a dad, man. Life is a little tricky for you right now.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. All right, so let's end with our recommendations. What's your recommendation for the week?
Oh, I thought we just did all the recommendations.
Well, frankly, the horror movies. Okay, I'll give you one. Well, if you want to add one, that's fine. So I don't know if you guys know Mychol the Librarian from TikTok. Such a cool dude. He's just trying to get people to read and stuff like that. And one thing I really like about Mychol is he's so honest about his mental health because when you go from like, I'm a librarian who likes to make little goofy videos to suddenly I'm one of the most popular TikTokers in the world, it can shatter you. It gets to be too much. And he said something like 1,500 panic attacks in three years. It was a lot for him.
Wow.
And it got pretty tough for him. But things are turning around for him. And he's in a good place now. And he is now the new host for Reading Rainbow.
Yeah.
How freaking cool.
Awesome.
I can't think of another person outside of, like LeVar Burton, number one, of course.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if you had to think of a successor, that's Mychol the Librarian. Yeah. So he's going to be hosting Reading Rainbow. Reading Rainbow is now its own YouTube channel thing. So it's going to be coming out. And they already showed some of the guests coming. Eben Moss-Baccarat, a lot of really cool guests that are going to be on there too, sharing their favorite children's books. So make sure you guys tune into that. That's Reading Rainbow with Mychol the Librarian. It's going to be a blast. That's cool. You got anything before we head out?
No, just Tron, like I was saying, the movie's coming out soon.
Watch Tron.
Watch it, yeah. Get caught up. It's always better. Like, I know you've seen it. It was good back then, but if you're going to go watch a hot new movie, watch the prequels before you go. Here we go, John. I'm going to put you're on microphone now, so you have to do whatever we say. All right. Would you watch Tron again and then do a challenge accepted with me as we fill in for Thomas? Oh, heck yeah. That'd be awesome. I like it. And I want to see Tron in IMAX this time. Oh, yeah. So you haven't been to that IMAX much, huh? The one in Delta? I think I saw Avatar The Way of the Water. I watched Fantastic Four over there and was like, you know what? I need to be here a lot more often, actually, because it's the same distance, frankly. Yeah. Really not that bad, especially now that you live over here. Anyways. All right, guys. Thank you for hanging out with us, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.